Hi, y'all. Welcome to another weekly horoscope update. This is the week where things start to shift, things start to move forward. Just a general overview of the week ahead. We have the Sun squaring Pluto on Wednesday, the 23rd. We have a conjunction between Venus, Saturn, and the North Node on Thursday. We have the new moon in Taurus on Sunday, and we have Mars opposite Pluto on Saturday. Mars will be opposite Pluto all week. It will be building up. The peak is on Saturday, and the Sun will be squaring both Mars and Pluto most of the week as well. So this is really a time of like moving through. Like, I feel like the last week gave us the rest and the recharge time, and we were tired so that we could have the energy to move forward this week. This is like, I named the video what I did for a reason. Like, it is literally go time this week. There might still be intense challenges or conflict or oscillating energy levels, but it's still time this week to move forward. It's still time to act on the things. Especially as we'll have a Mercury trine between Mercury in Aries and Mars in Leo most of the week as well. So that's the overall energy. If you want to learn more about day to day what's going on in the transits, look for my TikTok video update that is below. It's also posted on my Instagram if you're not on TikTok, but the link will take you to the video regardless if you have a TikTok account. Highly suggest watching that just for like a play-by-play of the week. And then I don't know what else I was gonna say. Mercury's on Neptune, so like I feel like I'm a space cadet, and I'm just letting words flow out of me at this point because I don't know. But yeah, all the important links are in the description box. So look out for those if you want more content from me about this week and just other things in general. Um, okay, so let's get into the horoscopes. We're gonna start as always with Aries Rising. These horoscopes are based on your rising sign. So if your sun sign isn't Aries, go off your rising sign. The sun sign horoscope might resonate with you, but the most accurate is going to be based on your rising sign. And then, as always, it's also going to depend on what else is going on in your chart for how this energy is going to show up for you on a personal, individual level. These are just general horoscopes. So don't try to make it resonate. If it doesn't resonate, there are lots of things that all of these things can mean in your chart, and it really depends on what's going on for you. This is why I teach you how to read your own chart through my Become an Astrologer course, or my intermediate astrology course that I just launched and will be launching again in the summer as enrollment's closed now. But yeah, my big mission is to teach you astrology so that you can understand how to apply these themes and these things to your own chart to understand what's going on for you anytime you need guidance, because it is literally like a window into your life, your soul, your mission, your purpose, and at any time what's going on for you. It's literally like therapy is how I like to see astrology and being able to read my own chart, the transits applied. Okay, so Aries Rising. Let me share my screen here. Okay, Aries Rising, we start off the week with the moon in your 11th house on Pluto opposite Mars. So there could be some deep emotional transformation that comes up for you to look at, heal, move through on Monday. This could put friction or challenges between your creative projects, your community, your long-term goals and visions, and your money. This could be something that you need to like evaluate your resources around or something like that in order to have what you need to take action on whatever this is. And then on Tuesday, the moon will be challenging Uranus in your second house. So there could be a breakthrough, an innovation, an idea that comes around whatever was challenging for you on Monday. Like you might get answers or clarity on Tuesday about how to move forward with that. Then on Wednesday, the moon moves into your 12th house. You might be feeling pretty reflective, pretty introspective, like wanting to hermit or spend time on your own, spend time in nature with a muse, with something that's creative. You might really just be focused on a new meditation practice or some spiritual practice to ground you that will heighten on Thursday. And most of Friday too, as the moon continues to move through all these things that are in your 12th house that are really putting this energy and focus on your spiritual practices, your spiritual pursuits, healing subconscious wounds, things like that. There might be something that challenges your communication or your ideas, your belief systems on Thursday as well, that brings up stuff for you to further look at and heal about this big identity shift that you're in right now. Then on Friday, that will be amplified as the moon moves through your first house, really putting a focus on you and your emotional sense of self, your emotions. You might be feeling more sensitive on Friday and Saturday as well, leading up to this full moon, and just kind of like you're really in this liminal, really in this unknown space. But I feel like there are answers, there are things that are subtly coming to you, like clarity is coming one step at a time. So just really don't let yourself get too far into the weeds. You are the eye of the storm that you're in right now. Don't get too focused on the storm itself, because the clarity is coming. Saturday, there could be something that brings up some intense healing for you, related to maybe a friendship, community, creative pursuit, something like that, a passion that you're maybe taking action towards sharing with the world. That is a part of your long-term vision. It's like your identity is really shifting right now, and you're healing a lot of things that are related to like how you're carrying yourself through the world, and how you're really allowing yourself to share the gifts that you have with the world that are related to this new identity or this new sense of self that you're embodying and learning to step into. It's like you're getting like the Emperor's New Groove, like you're learning how to walk again in a new way. And then Sunday, the new moon in Taurus will be in your second house. So setting intentions around finances, resources, money. Again, if you're launching something new, this could be like setting a goal for what you want to make through that thing, or how you like what your income goals are that are like bigger than just what your needs are. So you can have money to play with, so you can have money to have fun with and feel supported with. So life doesn't feel like so much of a struggle or a conflict and challenge anymore. It's like, okay, how can I see money as a way to support myself, as a way to help me solve problems and feel better about things and feel better about life, and more ultimately grounded and supported no matter what's going on in the external, right? Money is a way to really feel truly supported in our lives. And so you're really reclaiming that energy and setting intentions around that in your life. So that is the week for you, Aries. Let me know how that resonates, and I'll see you next week. Okay, Taurus. Taurus Rising. We start the week off with the moon in your 10th house on Monday. So this could be some big realization or emotional clarity around how you want to show up in your career and how you're maybe balancing your career and your home life. This could be some big shift in either place, and whether in your home or in your career, that really ripples into the other area of your life. Um, this is a really big shift, and it might feel like, how do I make sense of this? How do I piece this all together? How do I organize this? It kind of feels like a lot of chaos. But just, take it one step at a time, and don't let yourself get sucked into the chaos too much, or the storm. Just really embrace like what is needed for you right now on a moment to moment basis. Like really living presently right now is going to help you a lot. Then on Tuesday, the moon challenges Uranus in your first house. So this could feel like, okay, a big identity shift is needed, or a big um, just way you're viewing yourself, way you're showing up in the world is needed in order to kind of make sense of these changes in your career and your home. Almost like this big identity shift is really coming to light for you, and really clarifying and setting in. And you're like, okay, I kind of see why this all happened, or why this is like it all starts to kind of make sense, is what I'm getting. And then you're really in this phase two of moving in a new direction, positive direction, with your community, with your social media, with your just the people you have around you, and how that relates to your long-term goals and visions, and maybe something you're creating, something you're physically birthing into the world. And this week is going to give you a lot of opportunity to act on that, and to start to see it all coming to fruition as well. Especially as the moon moves through your 11th house on Wednesday, Thursday, and some of Friday. When the moon is over all that's in Pisces on later in the day on Thursday, you're really going to feel that kind of emotional clarity around this new direction, and maybe just get the physical evidence of what your intuition has been telling you about. Then on Friday, the moon's going to move uh into your 12th house. So you might be feeling like spending more time alone, or just you need some like quiet clarity away from everything, more time in meditation or something like that, or getting back into a yoga practice. Could also be a big focus just in general, and you might have been like on and off with it, but as the moon moves through this area of your chart on Friday and Saturday, you're really gonna like understand the need to have a consistent practice with those things, because they are really going to heal you. And that's going to come to a head on Saturday, as the moon moves over Chiron and maybe brings up any subconscious wounds that were still kind of hidden there, maybe revolving around like the full moon we had in the, when was that, middle of April. um it was a week ago as I'm filming this, but this as of this weekend upcoming, it will be 2 weeks after. So you might just be getting more clarity around what came up then, and maybe still some subconscious wounds that are like, okay, hey, I need your attention. I need some love or whatever it is. And then on Sunday, the new moon in Taurus will take place in your first house of you. So really setting intentions around stepping into this new identity, this new sense of self, embracing the transformation, embracing, anything that maybe came up earlier in the week in your home, in your career that was maybe triggering or frustrating or just felt like a lot of tension. There's kind of a release of that tension maybe through somebody in your life who's supportive, and you're just realizing like, oh, this is really helpful for this person that I'm stepping into, this person that I'm becoming, this identity that has shifted in me that I'm really starting to step fully into and be born into. So that is the week ahead for you, Taurus. Let me know how that resonates, and I'll see you next week. Okay, Gemini Rising. We start this week off on Monday with the moon in your ninth house. So there may be something you're getting clarity around through some sort of long distance travel that's really changing your perspective of life, that's changing your philosophies of life. Like maybe you went on a trip and you're just seeing things more clearly, you're seeing things differently. There could also just be some challenges between your old belief systems and old identity that maybe is rearing its head and like really coming up in a big way for you and showing you like, hey, this identity or this belief system is still kind of ruling your life in certain ways and keeping you from everything that you want, right? It's kind of like, are you going to continue to let this run the show, or are you really going to step into that new reality that you're creating for yourself? Gemini Rising, I feel like we talk about this every week, how there's a big focus on your career, what you're sharing in your career. This is going to get a big focus this week, especially. Like it's truly go time for you to do this new thing, share this new thing. There could be an innovation or just a breakthrough around that through this long distance trip, or something that comes up with that on Tuesday as the moon challenges Uranus in your 12th house. This could be kind of an emotional thing that is frustrating, but it does give you clarity, and it does provide you with the breakthrough or the insight into how to move forward, into how to really act on these things that you're building, that you're creating, that you really want to share with the world, share with your community. Like it's all about taking action on that, and letting it lead you where it's going to. And then on Wednesday, you might be feeling more intuitive. You might be feeling more creative as well, like in terms of your career as the moon moves through your 10th house. Um, Especially on Thursday, as we'll have the moon over all that's in Pisces right now, that's causing this big shift for you in your career and how you're sharing yourself creatively and things. So that's going to get a really big boost on Thursday as the moon moves over these things. You might really just be more focused on creating, on sharing these things in your career, and then especially on Friday, and really like as we get into the weekend, it's really go time for you. It's like the motivation's here, the energy's here to act, to do the thing. The moon's going to trine Mars. It's going to move over Mercury. It's time to share those ideas. It's time to share that information. It's time to put it out into the world, and to be doing it through social media or your community, posting up flyers, texting people, letting them know what's going on and what you're actually doing. Like it's time to launch the thing. Saturday, there might be something that comes up around that triggers you, that triggers a wound you didn't know was there, kind of a sensitive point um, around maybe like previous betrayal from friends or previous betrayal from people you have like shared your ideas, your information with, kind of thing. But that is just a part of those limiting beliefs that you're working through right now, Gemini, and giving you that kind of fuel to the fire to transform those and to really move forward, because this is the time to be taking action towards your dreams. It'll create something really big for you. And then Sunday, we have the new moon in Taurus in your 12th house. So maybe getting more clarity about your spiritual gifts or how you want to share those with people, or again, like really integrating those wounds that came up and giving yourself space or alone time to be able to do that, setting aside like time intentionally to really reframe your relationship with all of these things. So that is the week for you, Gemini, and I will see you next week. Let me know how that resonates. Happy Sunday, shadows, and Easter. Okay, Cancer risings. We start the week off with the moon in your 8th house, so this might be pretty intense in terms of like your spiritual growth journey, transformation. There might be things around money that come up too that you're really pressed to transform at this time, that you're really pressed to like work through and focus on maybe taking action in new ways to create new money opportunities. I really feel like that's been a kind of theme for you, Cancer. It's like how are you making money, and are you doing it in a way that's really truly aligned for you? This week is going to bring up a lot around that and maybe have you take action in new ways that you've maybe been avoiding, or not feeling having the energy to yet. There could be a big breakthrough shift around that on Tuesday as the moon challenges Uranus in your 11th house. There could be that momentum to post something on social media or to share something with your community, with your friends, that maybe you've been putting off. Again, like this week is really, it's like putting the pressure on you to do this thing, to share it with the world, to create, to put it out there, especially Monday and Tuesday. I mean, really this whole week. And then on Wednesday, the moon will move into your 9th house of international travel, long distance trips, spirituality. I mean, this is Pisces energy, so it's really like your spiritual philosophies of life, your creativity as well. So you might be feeling a creative boost on Wednesday and Thursday. Like if you took action on Monday and Tuesday, then you're like, oh, it's really not that bad. And then it like fuels the fire. It fuels you creating even more on Wednesday and Thursday, especially on Thursday as the moon is moving over through all that's in late degrees Pisces right now. The north node being is Saturn, giving you that emotional oomph, giving you that emotional like, okay, let's do the thing. Let's create, let's act on this, let's put it out into the world. Like it's time. It like it's truly is go time. And then on Friday, the moon moves into your 10th house, furthering that energy, furthering that need to really just share the thing. It could bring you in some money. It could give you clarity around how you're making money, or developing a new source of income for yourself, as we're going to have all that's in Aries harmonizing with Mars in your 2nd house, and technically harmonizing with Pluto too. So it's like you take this action and it really transforms, you know, your life in a lot of ways. Then on Saturday, there could be something that comes up that's like triggering, or that brings up a wound you maybe didn't know was there, or didn't realize was still affecting you from doing all these things. Like that's kind of how this goes. It's like you take action, you get the clarity of like, oh, that wasn't so bad, and then something happens and you're like, oh, okay, so this is coming up. It's like you reach a new level, and there's more to unlock, there's more to look at that level in regards to like your healing. So something could come up on Saturday that's brief. It's not gonna, it might be like you're getting triggered through a negative comment or something like that. And you just have to really see that as a good sign that you're on the right path. Because honestly, if you're not getting hate comments, like you're probably not living your truth or in your authenticity. So yeah, just reframing whatever it triggers as something that is really positive. And then Sunday, the new moon in Taurus is going to be in your 11th house. So again, setting intentions, transforming your relationship with how you're showing up into the world, how you're showing up in your community, on social media, whatever it is, and setting new intentions around making money from that too. Like there's all this focus on really making money in new ways, and taking action on all the things that are going to help support that, and really be a long-term shift and transformation. So that is the week for you, Cancer. Let me know how that resonates in the comments, and I will see you next week. Okay, Leo Rising. We start the week off with the moon in your seventh house. There could be some big breakthrough that happens in terms of your relationships or through somebody in your life. Um, that might that might happen through some sort of conflict or challenge in your career. Um, yeah, you'll have to let me know how that shows up specifically because it feels kind of vague, but it does feel like there's some emotional, I don't know, emotional aggression that really has you reflecting on things. Um, in your sense of self, your relationships, and your career, all kind of something that's ties all those things in together. Um, then on Tuesday, there's going to be a big shift between your relationships and your career. So again, whatever came up on Monday could be something that positively challenges you to make a change, to make an innovation, gives you the clarity you need in order to step forward in a new way or do something differently, to innovate. There could be like an emotional breakthrough that happens around that through a challenge or a conflict, something that doesn't feel comfortable at first, but you ultimately end up grateful for because it helped you to evolve in the ways you needed. Wednesday, you might feel heightened intuition. You might be really focused on healing emotionally, whatever came up, whatever was triggered earlier in the week, or maybe whatever has been a focus for you the last couple months or so in this area of your life. It might have to do with money. It might be these limiting beliefs around, okay, well, if I make this change in my career, is it going to support me financially? The answer is always yes. Acting from your intuition, right, is really the theme right now. And you're going to feel that especially heightened on Thursday when the moon moves over all that's in Pisces and really puts that emotional focus on having this new beginning there. It's really about shifting your belief systems right now, too, Leo, to be more positive, to be more supportive of where you're headed, as opposed to like staying comfortable in what has been. So on Friday, the moon moves into your ninth house, again, amplifying that message of maybe becoming aware of some belief systems that weren't benefiting you in this change. Could be heightened on Saturday as well as the moon moves over Chiron. There could be some wound that is brought up that you're like, oh, okay, so that's what this was. That's where that belief came from or whatever. And then reframing it. Then Sunday, we have the new moon in your 10th house in Taurus. So this is really a time to be setting those intentions, to be focusing on, okay, what new thing do I want to build here? What new thing is going to help support me and also support the how I want to support others or whatever it is that you do in your career. It's about setting intentions to lay a new foundation there. And maybe something that is more financially secure or sound for you as well, Leo. So that's the week for you. Let me know how that resonated, and I will see you next week. Okay, Virgo, we start the week off with the moon in your sixth house. Early on Monday, it's going to go over Pluto and opposite Mars. So that could be a really triggering day, a really triggering time period early on Monday, where it's not so comfy. It's bringing up stuff you didn't maybe know was there. It's maybe bringing up how you need to make or want to make changes in what you're doing for work. Really putting yourself out there in new ways, taking action to be able to do that, sharing your ideas, sharing your psychic gifts, your intuition, your intuitive abilities, like sharing stuff with people in new ways. And this this is really going to trigger that. It's also really going to trigger, and this is a big theme of the week itself, is that it's going to trigger shifts in your belief systems, how you're viewing life, and really seeing yourself as the creator of your life. It's you can create whatever you want, and what do you want? Getting clarity on that so you know what it is, so you know what it looks like, and you can actually create it through the actions that you're taking. And that stems from the beliefs that you have around life and what's possible for you. So there might be a lot coming up this week around how to shift that, especially on Monday. And then on Tuesday, we have the moon challenging Uranus in your ninth house. So again, there could be some big emotional breakthrough through a conflict or through a challenge that prompts you to really look at things differently, and beg the question like, okay, what if this all got to be easy for me? What if this all got to be better than I could have previously imagined for me? But it's not going to feel comfortable in the moment. And it might even be something that's like you're aware that this is happening, but you don't know how to make that shift quite yet. But I think that will come later in the week, as we move on with these transits. There could be even something on Wednesday or Thursday that comes through from somebody in your life. It's like an intuitive idea or just like a word of wisdom that someone gives you or someone says, and you're like, you know what, that's it. Like that helps it to piece it all together. And it's just about with all that's in fixed signs, like there's this tendency to want to be really stubborn about stuff, but you right now you're really being asked to be open um and flow with what's coming to you through other people. But it's not going to feel super comfortable to surrender ego or surrender pride and really listen to the wisdom that other people have for you. Um, because you might have been rejecting it yourself, and so other people are giving it to you because there's this maybe belief system or philosophy of life that's just not allowing it to come through you on its own. So spirit is bringing it through other people. That might come to a head on Thursday, as the moon moves over everything that's in Pisces in your seventh house. You might get emotional clarity around this, how to move in the new direction, through some uncomfortable feelings, or maybe even like a challenge that happens between a person in your life and your career, or somebody related to like your reputation, kind of thing. But again, all of this is giving you clarity on how to evolve. Um, Friday, the moon moves into your eighth house, so you might just be focused on financial stuff and applying those changes and those maybe breakthroughs and your belief systems, any limiting beliefs that have been hindering you with money, things like that. You might also be focused Friday on sharing ideas in a new way to move forward with these things that you just got clarity around, kind of thing. And then there might be something on Saturday that really brings up some wounds, triggers some emotional healing. Um, Maybe even about money, like something happens with money and you're like, okay, I really need to be on my shit about this. I really need to like um I really need to reframe my belief systems here to open up and allow it more money from however it's going to come, and then taking the action to back that up, so I do feel like it's going to be a quick turnaround for you, but it might feel really uncomfortable in the moment of like, okay, shit, like this is getting real, kind of thing on Saturday. And then Sunday, you have the new moon in Taurus in your ninth house. So really focused on, integrating in and embodying those new belief systems, those new philosophies of life. How do you want to view the world? How do you want to view what you do and what you share with your network and how that makes you money, right? Are you really viewing it from the highest potential that you could, or are those, how are those limited beliefs still been running your life? And this is about integrating in the new. Um, so that's the week ahead for you, Virgo. Let me know how that resonates in the comments, and I'll see you next week. Okay, Libra Rising. We start the week off with the moon in your fifth house on Pluto on Monday. It's going to be opposite Mars earlier in the day on Monday, so this could be something that really triggers a change in how you're sharing yourself with the world, a creative project. You could be launching something that like requires a lot of action on your part and requires doing it from a place of excitement. Like, what do you want to share with the world right now that's creative or that's a passion that's really fun for you? So that's really going to be the focus of the start of your week. There might be some block or breakthrough innovation that comes through, a challenge, an emotional of an emotional nature. On Tuesday, as the moon squares Uranus in your eighth house, this could be money related, of like, okay, I'm really done with how I have been making money because I want to expand. My vision, my goals have changed, and I want to do it from a place of like true excitement, true passion, as opposed to just like habit kind of thing. And with the sun squaring Mars and Pluto for you right now, there's a lot of pressure on you to change and transform the way you're bringing in money, or the way you're thinking about money, and seeing it as an expander, um, and something that you can really call in through the sharing of your excitement and these new creative passions or projects that have been brewing that maybe you've been procrastinating. Like, this is the week to really do it and not just talk about it anymore. Um, Wednesday, the moon moves into your sixth house, giving you another push to really share your creative pursuits, as it relates to your work, or as it relates, you might be focused on health as well, and figuring out how to balance those two things. Or it could be like you share what's been on your heart to share with the world, and it positively helps your health in some way. I don't know how that's going to show up. That's kind of specific, but it does feel like there's some emotional like heaviness that lifts in sharing yourself, or sharing this creative thing with the world this week, Libra. It feels like it's going to be a huge relief. Um, and then that could be amplified on Thursday. It could challenge on Thursday a belief system, or it could challenge a philosophy of life. There could be something also that shifts your intentions around a long distance traveling trip or something like that, where you're like, okay, well, if I take this long distance trip, like, how am I going to exercise, or how am I going to have healthy food, or am I going to be able to like do the creative thing that I want to do, like that kind of thing. There might be just a challenge that comes up there that asks you to evolve. But really, this time period for you, Libra, is about stepping into a new direction with your work and what you're doing on a daily basis for work, and also to take care of yourself. Um, there's a big momentum around you sharing your ideas in new ways, maybe even that you've been maybe putting off, like I said. Friday, the moon moves into your seventh house, so you might be focused on relationships. You might be just talking things through with people or chat GPT to like get clarity on this new beginning, to get clarity on like what you've been building, what belief systems are maybe at play that have been like hindering it or keeping you from acting on it, kind of thing. And then on Saturday, there could be some release of a wound or release of a trigger that happens through another person or through a relationship in your life, that you get clarity around on how to release that forward, and not have it running your life in ways that it maybe has been in terms of your relationships. Then on Sunday, the new moon is going to be in your eighth house of resources, of finances, of also spiritual transformation and spiritual growth too. So there could be a focus for you on Sunday to really set intentions around what type of resources you want to have, what you want to do with your money, what you want to invest it in, and really doing it in a way that feels exciting. Like, not just spending money because you have it to spend, but really doing it so intentionally. So you might be focused on setting new intentions there, redoing your budget or whatever it is, redefining your money goals in general, and like what you want to do with that money, kind of thing on Sunday. So that is the week for you, Libra. Let me know how that resonates, and I'll see you next week. Okay, Scorpio, we start the week off with the moon in your fourth house. So you might be focused on your home. You might be focused on transforming something about it, whether it's actually moving physically, getting everything together to do that. There might be a lot of triggers that come up, or conflicts, challenges that come up through other people in your life and your career this week too, that all ties into that. And it's really this week a message of, through all those conflicts and challenges, like stepping into your magnetism and your power, and really owning your personal power, your personal alchemy, and how you can really shift the tides in your favor if you realize you have that power and you utilize it, right? It's all about harnessing it. There could be a breakthrough around that on Tuesday through somebody else in your life that maybe is really brings up some emotional stuff in your family, or your childhood kind of thing, or it's like a wound is triggered from somebody in your life, but that gives you more clarity on how to really step into your power and make this change that you want in your home or in your family or in your career, or both. Probably both for you, since this is Mars and Pluto opposition there. And then on Wednesday, there could be a focus on some sort of creative project, like you're really channeling whatever came up earlier in the week into something creative, like you're really using it as like the fuel to your fire, turning your mess into your message, kind of thing, on Wednesday and Thursday, especially on Thursday as the moon moves over everything that's in Pisces in your fifth house. This is like, are you really dedicated to pursuing this thing? Are you really dedicated to sharing your passion, to sharing your intuition, your creativity? Your intuitive gifts, whatever it is. Like, there's really a lot of expansion right there for you at the moment in sharing your gifts with the world so that you can get paid for them. Then on Friday, the moon moves into your sixth house. So again, focus on this new beginning and work, day-to-day routine, how you're sharing all that. as it relates to your career as well. This new beginning that you're starting there, this transformation that's been developing there. You could just be feeling more expressive, like sharing these ideas, sharing this information on Friday as well. Like it's almost like a spark was lit this week, and now it's like, okay, here's the energy or the what you're waiting for to act on all these things. And it just starts to make more sense as we go through the week, as the week progresses. Saturday, there could be something again that emotionally comes up that's triggering through your work or through something on your in your daily life, or maybe your health or something like that. Like there's some emotional wound that's triggered, but it ultimately is helpful for you to have to face it in order to shift it and truly like heal it and not have it running underneath the surface. And then on Sunday, Scorpio, the new moon in Taurus is in your seventh house. So this could be setting intentions around partnership or the other people in your life, your relationships, friendships, everything that's having to do with other people in your life. There's a big need to set intentions around that. Like, how do you want to relate to people, or how do you want to serve people? That could also be the thing where it's like, okay, I'm sharing this with the world. I'm doing this thing. I'm acting on my passions, but maybe just getting a little bit more specific about who exactly you want to help, and setting intentions around that. Getting more clarity around relationships in general and really beginning anew there. So that's the week for you, Scorpio. Let me know how that resonated in the comments, and I'll see you next week. Okay, Sagittarius, we start the week off with the moon in your third house. There could be something really triggering that happens early in the day on Monday that maybe triggers you to say something in a way you didn't really mean to say. That doesn't feel so comfortable. That doesn't feel so good. It's like, ooh, you say it and then it's out, and you're like, ooh, I wish I didn't say that way. It's really something that came from an emotional place, but it also kind of has you looking at your subconscious in a new way, or just maybe things that were underneath the surface that you didn't really know was there until it literally came out of you and shocked you, kind of thing. And then you're like, oh, I really got to look at that. Like, I'm glad it came up, even though it sucked, it was uncomfortable, but now I get to like really see that that's there to shift it. Tuesday, there could be something more so going on with that along the lines of your communication, maybe in your work too. You're shifting something about how you're doing work or what you're doing for work, or just kind of bringing in something new that's innovative. You might be getting emotional clarity around that as well, um, on Tuesday around whatever came up on Monday. Wednesday, the moon moves into your fourth house, so you might be really going within on Wednesday and Thursday, focused on like, okay, what's really underneath the surface here? Like, how can I kind of deal with this, and how can I kind of support, or like, what is the word I'm looking for? Just be with the human in you that this whatever happened like came from. You might be feeling a lot more just like hermiting on Wednesday and Thursday, especially on Thursday, and then it's like you're getting this emotional clarity about what happened and how to really move forward in a new way, so that that energy doesn't keep showing up in the same way. Does that make sense? There's a big need to maybe change what you're doing in your career, and maybe coming at your career from a more vulnerable place, um, a more a more intuitive spirit. Like, what has your intuition been telling you, or what messages have you been getting in meditations or something, or maybe asking for that in your meditation of like, okay, what is next for me to do? What is next for me to share with the world, with the people that I'm here to help and serve? It could be related to what, has come up earlier in the week, and just being, remaining open to that, even if it's like, that's not what I expected to hear. Friday, the moon moves into your fifth house of creativity, of passions. So you might be just realizing like, oh, this is actually what I want to share with the world. This is what I want to create next. And then maybe just, formulating the ideas, information, be able to do that. There could be something around that is triggered on Friday or Saturday. That is like a wound that comes up you didn't know was there. This is not so emotionally comfortable, but it is going to help you with this new thing. It is going to give you more clarity on how to ultimately move forward, even if it is like uncomfortable and triggering to sit with in the moment. Then on Sunday, here's the energy to set new intentions around whatever this is in your work, in your health, in your day-to-day routine, like what you're doing to make money. There's a big need for you to set intentions, to focus on some type of new creation or new venture, and how you're serving with your knowledge, with your gifts, kind of thing on Sunday. So that's the new moon for you. And that's the week ahead. Let me know how it resonates, Sagittarius, and I'll see you next week. Okay, Capricorn Rising. We start the week off on Monday with the moon in your second house on Pluto. So, this is going to be a big transformation in terms of your money, in terms of your finances, how you're making it, what you're doing with it, spending it more intentionally, saving it, investing it more intentionally, making it more intentionally. If I didn't say that already, this is a big change. This is a big change in what you're doing creatively to bring money in for yourself. Maybe even allowing more in or raising your prices or whatever it is so that you have more to work with. You have more spaciousness. You feel more supported by money and how you're making it. Tuesday, there could be a big shift or breakthrough around that. Sharing something that's creative and brings up, maybe, it brings up a challenge for you to look at, for you to face, for you to shift around money, maybe even like your belief systems around it, your philosophies around it. um that could happen later in the day on Tuesday as the moon scores Uranus in your fifth house. Wednesday, the moon is moving through your third house in Pisces, so this is a good time to be putting whatever this is out into the world, to be sharing it, to be talking about it, to be, really sharing your creative gifts, communicating it to the world. And then just kind of, there might be stuff that comes up too around your belief systems as it relates to that as well. Especially on Thursday, as the moon moves over everything that's in late degrees Pisces and putting the focus on how you're communicating your gifts, how you're sharing your gifts with the world, maybe even how your day to day interactions or day to day where you're going on a daily basis is playing into that too. Then on Friday, the moon moves into your fourth house, so you might be focused on your home, new beginning with your home, or just changing things in your home. You might be hermiting Friday and Saturday. There might be a trigger that happens on Saturday that brings up a wound that you didn't expect to be brought up through your home, through your family, something like that. It's ultimately going to be a positive healing for you, but it's not going to be so comfortable in the moment. Then on Sunday, the new moon in Taurus is in your fifth house of creative projects. So again, Capricorn, this week is great for you to be creating something new, to be sharing it with the world. It's going to be something that is really aligned with your heart and your passions. And there's an opportunity on Sunday with this new moon in that area of your life of creative passions to set new intentions there. What do you want to create here? And how can you really embody it? So that is the week for you, Capricorn. Let me know how that resonates in the comments, and I'll see you next week. Okay, Aquarius Rising. We start the week off on Monday with the moon on Pluto in your first house and opposite Mars in your seventh house, both squaring your sun and Taurus in your fourth house. So there could be a lot of challenges that happen, that propel you forward in some type of new career. Like it could be something that pressures you to really step into a form of making money, that maybe was uncomfortable. And it might come through a relationship, it might come through somebody else in your life, might even come through your home or your family, and really challenge you to step into a new sense of self as it relates to that. And it's almost like you're channeling this conflict or these challenges into your career in some way. There might be a big breakthrough, clarity, innovation around that on Tuesday as the moon challenges Uranus in your fourth house. So you might be getting, I don't know, you might be wanting to move or just set up something differently in your home to create space for whatever this is that you're shifting in your career, that you're transforming in your career. There might be some challenge or just like friction that happens that like prompts you to make this change. Then on Wednesday, the moon moves through your second house. So again, this is a great time to be sharing that thing, to be creating, like putting that thing out there, really maybe even getting clarity on how to do that, or how to make money in new ways that are aligned with your vision, that are more in line with your spiritual pursuits or your spiritual passions, maybe things that you saw as a cult or taboo. But I mean, Scorpio rules your 10th house, Aquarius. So you're kind of meant to be doing something like that in your career. That's kind of how you're meant to make money, is through some sort of spiritual or creative pursuit. So this week is going to give you that clarity around it and really pressure you to take action on it, especially Wednesday and Thursday as the moon is moving through your second house, adding an emotional look at that area. Then on Friday, the moon moves into your third house of communication, of day to day errands, of how you're sharing yourself, and belief systems too. So there might be a lot that comes up around, okay, well, if I am to step in this thing, like blah, 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 like all these belief systems that are coming up for you to reframe. There might be something that triggers you to look at that on Saturday as the moon moves over Chiron in your third house. Things you maybe didn't know were there, but Friday is a good time to be sharing those ideas with the world, to be putting that out there, to be, really embarking and pioneering on this new way of sharing yourself, your ideas, and your information. But something again might come up through doing that on Friday. Something could come up on Saturday that triggers you to look deeper at belief systems. And then on Sunday, there's the new moon in your fourth house, so new beginnings around your home life, or what's going on in your career and how your home is directly like playing into that. There could be a need for you to maybe like change something in your home, or move, or take this as it resonates, or just have a new relationship with your family kind of thing. Like there's a big focus on your home life on Sunday with this new moon. So let me know how that resonates with you, Aquarius, and I will see you next week. Okay, Pisces Rising. We start the week off on Monday with the moon in your 12th house on Pluto. This could trigger some subconscious wound. This could also trigger a need for you to really be on your spiritual practices. Maybe life has you really focused on the external things, and there's some pull back to your internal world, what's going on underneath the surface of stuff. On Monday, maybe even on Tuesday, as a breakthrough comes from some sort of challenge or conflict in your communication, someone in your daily life, an errand that you usually run with no problem, but there's something that there's something that challenges that on Tuesday. But it does propel you into some sort of change, into some sort of positive innovation with how you're going about that, maybe related to what came up on Monday. There is a lot of friction and tension this week, Pisces, between what you're doing on a daily basis for work, your health routine, your mental and physical health, and then also like your ideas, your communication, how you're sharing yourself, and where you're going on a daily basis to do that, or what you're doing on a daily basis to share those ideas and communicate things to the world. It's like there's a lot of pressure to kind of, in all those areas, to maybe innovate in a way that's more positive for you. And then on Wednesday, the moon moves into your first house, so you might just be feeling more intuitive, more sensitive on Wednesday as the moon is in your first house. And if it's squaring anything you have in mutable signs, that could add some tension too, that could add some challenge or conflict in your home or your career or your relationships. That brings up stuff that's like, okay, how do I move forward in a new way around this? Then on Thursday, that's going to be amplified as the moon moves over everything that is in Pisces right now on your first house. There's a huge theme for you, Pisces, around stepping into a new identity, embodying something new, sharing yourself in new ways, really like allowing yourself to be seen as a creative or as a spiritual person in ways that you maybe previously hid from. And that's going to be a big theme of the week, releasing any wounds or triggers that come up revolving around that, or belief systems that weren't serving you as it relates to that. On Friday, the moon's going to move into your second house, so you might be focused, might be emotionally focused on money, and making it in new ways, or just doing different things with it. You might have some type of shift into how you're sharing your work and it brings in more money kind of thing. But there could be a trigger that comes up around that on Saturday, an emotional challenge that triggers you to really look at things differently in terms of your money, in terms of your resources. It could be even food, take it as it resonates. Food and money are often tied in together. But either way, it's going to be something that is not so comfortable emotionally. It's triggering, but it is a part of your evolution and growth and going to positively benefit what you're doing. Then on Sunday, the new moon is in your third house, again, setting intentions around changing your communication style, your belief systems, where you're going on a daily basis. That's either supporting this new beginning, supporting this new identity, or hindering it. So it's really about getting clarity around, okay, what's really helpful for me to be doing on a daily basis and what's not, and how can I set intentions around like making sure I'm doing all the things that are truly helpful and shedding, trimming the fat of what's not truly helpful. So that is the week ahead for you, Pisces. Let me know how that resonates, and I'll see you next week. And that is everybody, y'all. Shadow says, Sag, Sun, Aquarius, Moon, Scorpio Rising here. I'm hearing it's time to move. Yes. Okay, universe, hear you. I'm making the necessary changes to make that happen. Amazing. I'm so glad to hear it, Shadows. Yay. I feel like it's going to be so positive for you. Okay, so as always, I'll post the timestamps of everything after the video is done processing, and I can go through and sort through and find all the timestamps. And yeah, let me know how this resonates with you in the comments. This is a really exciting week. So let me know. Let's chat about it in the comments, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.